We are going to move into autograph of the day on that note. I got a really good one for you today. I've been really excited about doing this and telling you guys about this. It's a really nice piece, and the player on it is probably not someone that you know. I'll just be real with you. If you're an older fan, especially if you're a Pirates fan, you might know him. He was a first-round draft pick. His name's Steve Nicosia. He's actually on my channel. I did an interview with him a few years ago. You guys have heard me talk about Daryl Cheney, his United Way golf tournament. They have a lot of good people there. Everybody there is 5-star. If you're not a 5-star person, just in terms of your character, you won't be invited back. So they keep a pretty good list of people. With that said, Steve Nicosia is a very nice person. He's one of my first baseball interviews, one of the first people I ever interviewed at that tournament. I liked him so much that I went and bought this helmet and had him sign it. Now, this is similar to that Pete Rose helmet up there. It's the same make and model. It's era correct. And that's his signature. I'm going to try to get it up there. I know it's got that shine. What it says is Tyler, catch you later, Steve Nicosia, 1979 World Series champs, Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah, he was a rookie catcher in 79. He played with Willie Stargell, and he was first-round draft pick, and he played in the 79 World Series. Now, if you're a younger guy, you ought to go look up the 79 World Series. That is, if you're older, you know, that is this, the We Are Family Pittsburgh Pirates. It was a really fun team to watch. Of course, Willie Stargell was on that team, Stargell Stars, all that good stuff. But the story I'm going to tell you is really why I'm still talking about this and why I'm telling you. The autograph is a personal thing to me. But I got this autograph about a year after I interviewed him. I just liked him so much that I took the helmet over and got it signed. And I think he's a very cool person and a very good player at one point. He played for about 8 years, primarily with Pittsburgh, some with Montreal, and some I think with the Giants, but most of it was with the Pirates. Most of his, greater years was with the Pirates. And the story I'm going to tell you, go look up, just trust me. I interviewed, you know what? Hold that thought. I interviewed Steve, okay? His friends call him Nick, but I call him Steve. I interviewed Steve, Mr. Nicosia, and he's a super nice guy, a very soft-spoken man. Never could expect this to happen. About 6 months later, I'm watching the 79 World Series, the final game of whatever series that is, or it might have been a championship series, maybe not a World Series, but I'm pretty sure it's a World Series. And fans, they were in Baltimore, I believe, and fans broke out and stormed the field, Chris Chambliss style. And all of a sudden, I see this catcher, and I find it's Steve. It's Nicosia, okay? He's got his mask off, okay? His fingers, I come to find out later, his fingers were stuck in the mask of his catcher mask. The fan was trying to steal the mask, okay? So Steve, look up the video. If you don't believe me, look up the video. Steve is pummeling this dude. Okay, just one after another, throwing haymakers and knocking this dude senseless. And so I pick up the phone and call him the next day because I was like, I got to know what that was because he didn't tell me any of this when I interviewed him. Sure enough, I call him. He calls me back and he's talking to me. He goes, yeah, I get asked about that a lot. He said, what happened was he stormed the field. He said, Steve's like, I didn't want to fight him, but my fingers were stuck in the mask. I couldn't get it off. So when he went to take the mask, he was actually pulling my finger and I couldn't get out. So at that point, I had no choice but to knock him out. So that happens. Okay. I thought that was funny enough, but he then says about, 10, 15 later in life, some way or another, he finds out that this guy contacts Steve. Steve's worried about getting a settlement in court or something, and they end up going to dinner, and he bought Mr. Nicosia's dinner, and it's just a really good story, something that you never are going to hear about in any documentary or anything, but I think it's a very funny story. Again, he's so soft-spoken. If you don't believe me, you can check out the interview. Just search Steve Nicosia, Tyler, on the channel. You'll find it. It's an older video. It's before I got good at editing and things like that, but it's worth your time. He talks about Willie Stargell in it and things like that. But, he was a rookie catcher and he just had to throw a haymaker. That's part of it, I guess, in 1979. But it was, again, just a really funny story. I really love that story. It's, one of my favorite pieces because of that story. single-handedly, and just the person Steve is. But again, Steve Nicosia, I'll show you one more time this piece. I've fallen in love with getting helmets signed, and I really love these older style helmets, the no ear flap helmets.